Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and we're playing Gundam Battle Operation 2. And unfortunately, we're back with another episode of Noob Stomping. So, I've started over with a new account on my US PSN account. And Noob Stomping is a series where, I'm a veteran going into matches with new players, and essentially it's supposed to be a learning experience for new players. I'm gonna be here pointing out mistakes that the enemy team will make, and even like my team will be making some of those mistakes that new players will make. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So I'm using the level 1 G-3 Gundam. I believe this is one of the giveaway mobile suits when the Western release just started, and my team is actually a little bit imbalanced because we have 3 raid types. Yeah, so this generally is a bit risky, and yeah, you'll find out that the enemy team is also very poorly balanced as well. But yeah, we'll get to that when we cross that bridge. Okay, so we took out that gun cannon. Wait, there's a tank here? What the heck is going on? Okay, people shouldn't be in tanks this early in the match. So, okay, so up here, there looks like that looks like an abandoned full armor Gundam. That is very weird. So here's a really big thing. When you're using a support type, I highly recommend that you don't use your support type mobile suit to do scouting like this. Like, you shouldn't be running out ahead and capturing points because, well, first of all, support types are really slow, and then when you're taking point like that, you have a very, very high probability of either running into a raid type, which you have type disadvantage against, or you might run into a general type, which, you can do more damage to those guys, but they just run circles around you because they're so damn fast. So I generally recommend that support types don't run around and capture points. Stick with your team and provide support fire. Like, just either stand with them or stand directly behind them. But anyway, yeah, that was very weird. Like, yeah, I ran into a support type capturing this point, so I just destroyed him and took it back. And then that same gun cannon I killed spawned right on top of us, so yeah, maybe he was trying to help the full armor, but yeah, generally I don't recommend support types spawn by themselves. They really need another mobile suit there to escort them. Anyway, so this full armor Gundam is sort of making the same mistake. Really interesting that he's trying to capture the spawn point close to our base, but yeah, now he is stuck with me, and I have a speed and damage advantage over him. I have no idea how that missed, but anyway, what you'll see that I'm doing here is, yeah, so because I have such a high speed advantage over him, I don't really need to use the knockdown attack of my melee. Essentially, if I can't kill him in the down state, when he gets up, he gets free invincibility. And when a mobile suit has invincibility, they essentially have a free move where they can either use it to run away from you, or they can get a free attack on you, which is very dangerous. So that's sort of why I refrain from using down attacks when I have the option. Which, when I have like such a huge advantage, I kind of don't need to use it. Okay, so that gun cannon pilot ejected. I couldn't see where he was until I caught the shadow from the pilot there, and I took him out with the Vulcans. That is actually a very rare occurrence, because yeah, Vulcans have a hard time hitting pilots for some reason. Okay, we're advancing on the enemy team, and wow, that was a really good leading shot on that mobile suit with my beam rifle. Okay. That looks like it was a heavy Gundam, which, another support type, so I think by this point we can confirm that the opposing team has 3 support types, and my team has 3 raid types, meaning they are at a severe type disadvantage, which is very problematic for them. Yeah, so that Ifrit custom right there, I probably could have knocked him down to keep him from running away, but yeah, I figured since he was so highly outnumbered, I could avoid doing that. Okay, here's the full armor again. How the heck did you survive that? Okay, yeah, I don't know how he survived my downswing, but I just followed up with another neutral. Okay, here's again. Eos is actually a pretty good mobile suit to use against mine, because it's a general type, so it has advantage over my G3. Okay, and... ooh, okay, we're surrounded. He's running at me with a spear. Yeah, and that was sort of, yeah, he telegraphed that melee attack too much, so sometimes when you're really obvious with your melee intentions, you can get countered really easily right there, especially if, you know, somebody's really experienced at the game. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for his invincibility to end. I'm not sure why when people eject from mobile suits they get such long invincibility. It's really stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so here's this full armor Gundam spawned on top of our heads again. Yeah, so at this point, yeah, just kind of following the same loop. So here's something I'd like to point out, like that's kind of a mistake. So when the enemy has pushed you all the way to your base, like we have to the enemy team, you don't want to spawn in one by one, because you'll just get, you're obviously outnumbered, and you'll just get stagger locked to death. Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to wait for the rest of your team to be ready to sortie, and then all of you sortie at the same time. That way there isn't a numbers disadvantage for your side. Okay, we are doing extremely little damage to this Ifrit for some reason. That was very bizarre. Okay, I'm trying to help out this guy. He looks a little outnumbered. There's the Gan Eos again. It looks like our support type took him out. I think our support's a Mudrock. Okay, here's the full armor Gundam. Looks like one of our guys downed him, and here's what I was talking about before. When a person gets up from being tripped, they have invincibility, so that let him run all the way over here. And, you know, when they're invincible, you can't damage them, you can't stun them, nothing. They just get a free move, so he used his invincibility to, like, just get the hell away from us, which is, you know, pretty smart. Okay, I have no idea what the heck's going on over here. I think they just destroyed a tank, and it looks like the pilot's right there. Okay, yeah, I really don't like killing pilots, but yeah, he might have gone to capture that spawn point, which could have been dangerous for our positioning. Oh, okay, so the enemy team has 2 disconnects, and that sort of explains why I'm doing so little damage right now. It's not really the G-3 Gundam's fault, but when you have disconnects on a side, they get a defense bonus. So with 2 disconnects, they're going to be really hard to hurt. Okay, and I jumped on top of the base because, you know, basically I'm done kicking these guys' asses. This is really fucked up. But, yeah, he spawned in and there was artillery fire on his head. I was just trying to keep him still so he doesn't, like, run into our guys with the artillery strike. Okay, he's telegraphing his melee way too much again. Yeah, so I got a counter on him. Did the second hit get absorbed by his shield or something? Okay, so he wisely backed off before trying to attack us again. Okay, there's time. Okay, and yeah, I don't think we really need to go over the score, but yeah, that match did not go very well. And I understand why they disconnected, but you know, when you do that, you sort of give your team like a really huge numbers disadvantage. Like, I know they do get a defense buff, but it's generally never enough to really help them out. So yeah, 8 kills, 0 deaths. That was pretty bad. Okay, so yeah, that match was pretty dense with mistakes. I actually didn't get to point all of them out. There was actually a point where the Gan Eos pilot had ejected, but our Ifrit Custom was just unloading on him with with his Gatling cannon, even though he had invincibility. So yeah, don't try to attack things when they have invincibility. It's just a waste of ammo. Anyway, guys, hopefully that gives you some ideas on what types of things to avoid. Like a basic summary on this match is avoid forming imbalanced teams. You want a little bit of each type instead of weighing heavily into one type for the most part. And yeah, your support types, they shouldn't spawn by themselves. They should not be taking the front line. Let them stay in the back and shell from a distance. Yeah, and don't get stagger locked if you get pushed back to your base. Just wait and spawn together. Anyway, guys, that's it for my thoughts on this match. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned a little bit of something, but that's it for now, and we'll see you next time.